Soccer has taken over Philly, and when the World Cup rolls out, the party doesn't stop because we have professional soccer right here. The Philadelphia Union returned to play to host rivals Red Bull New York on July 22nd. If you've never seen a match, now's your chance with the first match on us. If you have seen a game, enter today to win VIP tickets to watch Inter Miami take on the Philadelphia Union when Lionel Messi comes to town on August 18th. Register for both at philaunion.co/citycast. Here's a fun fact. You've probably walked past something historically fascinating and just kept walking. Story Strolls fixes that. It's a free app packed with guided audio walking tours. They call them strolls, full of the kinds of stories that make you stop, look around, and say, wait, seriously? Start with the free Philadelphia Candy History Stroll. Then check out more strolls in the app, with new ones coming soon. Download Story Stroll, free on Google Play and the App Store. Go take a walk, but make it interesting. The Schuylkill River flows 137 miles through Schuylkill, Berks, Montgomery, Chester, and Philadelphia counties before reaching the Delaware River. And there's so much activity on the water right now because it's summer, like people kayaking, boat racing, fishing, but not swimming because that's prohibited. So that got me thinking, why not? And what exactly is in the water? I'm going to find out from Erin Mooney, Executive Director at the Schuylkill Center for Environmental Education. It's Monday, June 22nd. I'm Trenae Nuri, and we're learning about Philly's waterways. Erin, I love driving on Kelly Drive in the morning around 7 a.m. and seeing the college crew teams on the Schuylkill River rowing. And then I also love walking along the Schuylkill River Trail. And one morning near the 76 underpass, I saw someone holding a giant fish, and it was hanging from his fishing pole. And I couldn't stop thinking about this. Why people are rowing in the water and what types of fish are swimming in the water?
Well, Trenae, you could have had 40 answers to that question because there are 40 species of fish that live in the Schuylkill River. Likely it was a catfish, but it could have been a largemouth bass. It could have been a muskie. It could have been a carp. You can catch bluegill, pumpkin seeds, sunfish. If you were standing near the art museum in the spring when the shad are migrating, maybe it was an American shad. It could have been a yellow perch. There's so many different fish it could have been.
Now, can I eat any of these fish?
Well, Trenae, it depends how much of a risk taker you are. I would not personally eat a fish from the Schuylkill River. I would go fishing there and I would release my fish back into the river. That's what I do mostly. A lot of stormwater runs right into the Schuylkill. Wissahickon dumps right into the Schuylkill River. We know what the color of the Wissahickon Creek is after a heavy rainstorm. It's getting stormwater runoff all the way from Montgomeryville into the Wissahickon, and then it drains all the way down into the Schuylkill River. Some people do eat fish out of the Schuylkill River and other rivers in the middle of cities.
And that color of the water is like a brownish tan.
Yeah, but Trenae, aren't you always looking in the river to see what's in there? Like, I can't see what the fish are because of the color of the river, right? So that's also exciting. What's in there? What's swimming? What's living in there? If I'm hiking in a backwoods area in a very remote place and I need dinner, I would eat a trout that I caught. But I wouldn't recommend eating anything out of Philadelphia's rivers, although a lot of people do.
I've seen people also fishing near the Wissahickon Transportation Center near the waterfall. Is that like another place where the fish kind of hang out?
That is another place that fish live. The Wissahickon stocks fish several times throughout the year. So it stocks it with trout. Trout can't live easily in warmer water. So as the water warms up, as the season becomes summer, trout don't live there. They can't survive warmer temperatures. So people are likely fishing there after the stream has been stocked or it's early spring. So it's a great place. There's lots of oxygenated water there for a fish to live in.
I went down a rabbit hole, and according to the Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission, in 2026, this year, they will stock 3.2 million adult trout in 684 streams and 130 lakes in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it's on the East Coast and in Pennsylvania. A lot of the fish that anglers go after are stocked fish. That is, the Fish and Boat Commission raises these fish in hatcheries and then they stock the streams. And that's because the streams can't and aren't producing natural fish propagation in the way that they used to. Right. So now, because there's so many anglers and so many sportsmen and women who want to catch fish, we're stocking our waterways with fish so that people can catch them.
And anglers is like another term for someone who fishes.
Yeah, I don't like saying I'm a fisherwoman. It makes me sound like I'm wearing overalls and,
And like big galoshes.
yeah, big galoshes, and maybe I've got two buns on my head, and but an angler is someone who fishes. So, and it's gender neutral.
And you are an angler, right?
Yeah, I am primarily a fly fisher. So there's a spin fisher person who you see on the Schuylkill River. Those are people who reel up their line, do these super long casts into the river. Their line goes really far out, and then they reel it in. Fly casting is what I primarily do. Fly casting is what you see in a river runs through it, where you take this big, long floating line and you put it over your head and you do several gorgeous loops and you cast it out.
Where's your favorite spot?
My favorite spot to fish in the Philadelphia area is the secret pond. So I have a friend who has a pond on his property, and I love going in there with a pair of sandals and my fly rod and catching whatever will take my fly. Um, in this pond, there are bass, there are bluegills, there are sunfish, and you get to use a big fluffy fly that lands on the top of the water with a splash, and the fish will come up and get it. To me, that's really fun. I don't want to be standing next to 1,000 people on the Wissahickon Creek who are using everything from corn to pheromone-laden fluorescent bait to catch their fish. I'd much rather be in a solitary environment where it's me and the fish and my presentation, and I can get into the whole dance of it.
Sounds peaceful, and it looks like it's fun.
You don't sound convinced.
No, because I'm trying to figure this out, Erin. Fishing is allowed in our waters, but swimming is not. And I emphasize that not allowed in the Schuylkill River, the Delaware River, in our city streams, rivers, waterways. Why not?
Well, it's super dangerous.
Because of what? Because of what's the contaminants in there, but the pollutants, or the waters are just too deep?
It's that they're not monitored, right? So there are no lifeguards. These are rivers not made for swimming. There's no beach. You're accessing it if you're swimming there illegally in an unsafe way. And many people don't have experience in local waterways and therefore shouldn't be there. You know, tragically, we hear of people drowning in the Wissahickon, if not annually, then every couple of years we have those incidents. It's because people can't swim. The current is too strong. It's just not safe.
Do you think that there's enough signage, enough awareness about these potential dangers?
I think that Friends of the Wissahickon in the Wissahickon does a really good job of getting information out about the dangers of entering into the creek. It's not a place to swim. It's in a major metropolitan city, and it's also the majority of the Wissahickon is stormwater after a rainstorm. You don't want to be in there for your health. But more than that, you don't want to enter into those waters. You don't know the depth, you don't know the current, and many people can't manage that.
All right, let's keep talking about this after the break. Fiddler Club might be Philadelphia's best kept secret. It is a members-only club designed for the way people actually live today. It's all under one roof. You can start your morning with a workout, take meetings from a co-working space or private office, then end the day with dinner, drinks, bowling, or time with your friends. Located right across from 30th Street Station, Fiddler Club brings together fitness, work, dining, and social life in one incredible space. The club features a 2-floor fitness center, indoor pool, golf simulator, cold plunge, co-working spaces, private rooms and offices, 2 bars, a restaurant, private balconies, and even complimentary babysitting for members. So whether you're looking to be healthier, grow your network, get more done, or just have a better place to spend time in the city, Fiddler Club gives you a place for it all. Learn more and apply today at fiddlerclub.com. As you begin to make your itinerary for summer, add Brooklyn Bowl to the list. Brooklyn Bowl is a perfect blend of live music, bowling, beer, and food. It's located in Fishtown next to the Fillmore. 24 bowling lanes, 2 bars, and a restaurant featuring food from the Blue Ribbon Restaurant Group. It's open Thursday through Saturday evenings with live shows and parties every week. Half-price bowling Thursdays, family bowl Saturdays, plus food and drink specials in the restaurant during Phillies games. Go to brooklynbowl.com/Philadelphia to purchase tickets to shows, make a restaurant reservation, or inquire about hosting your next private event on the Brooklyn Bowl lanes. Like I mentioned earlier, I love seeing all the collegiate crew teams on the Schuylkill River rowing. That's another way folks are interacting with our waterways. And they've been doing that for years.
We're the stewards of the land. It's our job to take care of nature. So when we look at our waterways, we have so many rich opportunities on the rivers in Philadelphia. We can join a crew team, be on a boat, right? You can canoe. Right near the Wissahickon transfer station is the Philadelphia Canoe Club. If you go up the Schuylkill River in Conshohocken, the Philadelphia Swim Club is there. So you can swim in an area right there in the river. If you look at the birds and the other life in the rivers, there's a lot to look at. There are lots of aquatic birds that are there. The other day, I was driving my son into Center City early in the morning on a Saturday, and we saw something dead in the roadway. And it wasn't a squirrel, and it wasn't a raccoon. It was a beaver. So beavers are back in the Schuylkill, and that is so cool. And I just couldn't believe that there was a beaver that had tried to cross Kelly Drive and was killed. So there is tons of life in the river that we sometimes don't even see.
Why was it significant to see that beaver or to make that connection that a beaver was near our waterway?
The thing that's amazing about seeing a beaver in the Schuylkill River, it's a new form of life, right? It shows us that this animal can live in the river, right? Is it a marker of a healthy river? Not really. But it shows another species of wildlife that's living in an urban area right on Boathouse Row. Super cool.
Well, you just mentioned the river's health. How would you describe its health today, maybe compared to 10, 20, 50 years ago?
We know that the rivers around us are healthier than they ever have been. We know that we don't have the industrial waste and pollution that existed decades ago. I'm not an expert on Philadelphia's river health, but as our drinking water source, both the Delaware River and the Schuylkill River for different portions of Philadelphia, our water is carefully monitored, it's closely watched, and it's a huge drinking water source. So we know that those rivers are cleaner than they have been. Now, they're still in the middle of an industrial city. We have a major, we're the sixth largest city, and we have these natural rivers going through our cities. There's going to be pollution, there's going to be waste. That said, they're a lot healthier than they have been.
And our water quality is meeting state and federal standards?
So this is interesting for listeners to know. The Schuylkill River complies with federal water quality standards when it comes to drinking water. So it meets the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency standards for drinking water, but it does not consistently meet the swimmable criteria of the Clean Water Act. So you've seen sewers in Philadelphia that have stickers on them and says drains to the blank, like fill in the river, drains to the Tacony watershed, drains to the Pennypack watershed. That stormwater pollution, that runoff goes right into our rivers.
And that's what makes it not healthy.
Yeah.
So with the fishing, with the kayaking, which I've done in FDR Park, with the crew teams, and the regattas, so much activity happening on our waters. What preservation efforts are happening in the city right now to make sure that we are taking care of this ecosystem? And how can people get involved like right now?
There are lots of ways that people can participate in taking care of their local waterways. We know that there are lots of advocacy organizations throughout the city for people to participate in. The Schuylkill Action Network is an organization that monitors and works to advocate for a healthier Schuylkill River. One of the coolest things for people in Philadelphia to do, or visitors to Philadelphia to do, is to visit the Fairmount Waterworks. It's actually a museum of drinking water. And so seeing what happens underwater in the Schuylkill, and then also how that becomes our drinking water. Philadelphia is a city where underground springs are like plant roots throughout the city. So I love looking at those maps that show all of the springs and the streams that used to flow underground before the city was built on it. So if you wonder why your basement's flooding, this is often the reason why. But the Fairmount Waterworks is just a very cool place to see how our city's waterways work and how that comes to our tap. It was really an homage to the city's drinking water system, and our forefathers were so proud of this system of drinking water that they built a museum around it.
Awesome. Erin, thank you so much for talking about what's in our water and how we can be better stewards of it.
Trenae, I need you to meet me on the river one day.
Oh my gosh,
need to
let's
go
do
out
it. Yes.
with a rod in hand, and we need to catch a Philly fish.
Did you say a Philly fish?
A Philly fish, right?
What's
Have you ever caught a Philly fish?
No, I've actually never been fishing in our waters yet.
Trenae,
I know.
you got to meet me. You have to put on some waders. I'll give you a rod. I'll teach you how to fly fish. And it will be the thing that just takes you and transcends you from your experience.
I will be a complete Philadelphian.
Thank you so much for having me. It's such a kick. I hope to meet you on the stream.
That's all for today here on CityCast Philly. If you enjoyed this episode about Philly's waterways, share this with a friend. Rate the show, leave us a review, and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to sign up for our morning newsletter to learn more about what else Philly's talking about. And don't forget, you can support the show and get great perks by becoming a CityCast Philly neighbor at membership.citycast.fm. We'll be back tomorrow morning with a roundup of news stories that everyone's talking about in the city. Talk to you then. Bye.